Okay, I think we are live. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think we're live right now. So, Robert here. I'm going to go ahead and be doing my live right today. It's going to be for about probably about 30 minutes before I pivot over to something else. I started a little bit late today, but I feel that I'm close enough to where I need to be that I can manage to accomplish what I need to do. So, to sum up, right now I'm working on my short film. It's a La Llorona interpretation. So I've been working on that since Sunday, right? So Sunday I put in 2 hours. Yesterday, Monday, I put in 2 hours. Today I'm not really sure what the time will be, but I know for sure I'm putting in at least 1 to 1.5 hours at least. But for right now, I've been working on this for a total of so far 4 hours, and it's I've been really focused on the process for me. Right now, I'm working on my one pager, which will describe the story. Just that way it's told in a way that really hopefully brings us into it emotionally. Let me go ahead and share my screen. I got my beautiful. Today I have some coffee. I needed a little bit of the stronger stuff today. So before I go ahead and start, this is my ritual today. Right, I'm gonna go ahead and drink this. Salud. What is it? My mom has told me this one. Arriba, abajo, el centro, para dentro. There you go. All right. So as I mentioned yesterday, the goal is to go ahead and knock out a script. My goal is 7 pages. Will I accomplish that this week? That remains to be seen. But my goal for right now this week is to really knock out the story. I feel that I am already there. In terms of like, hey, you know what? I'm closer than where I was. So I'm going to go ahead and recap. Like I said, this should only last probably until about 9:50. So it's really an abbreviated time to today, this morning. But I'll return to it this evening. All right. So let's go ahead and start. I'm going to go ahead and read through what I have. Beginning, the confrontation. Mr. Reyes enraptures his children with parables of honor. Christina, his wife, observes from the comfort of her corner. She then leads Hector to the bedroom. Oh, you here? All right, hold on, I'm just responding real quick. All right, man. Thanks for joining in. I really can't see who's joining in the video stream. I really can't see that right now, but I'm grateful for anybody that wants to write alongside me during these times. Sometimes it's better when we write together. So I'm always for that. But anyways, going back to what I'm focusing on, I'm going to just kind of start at the beginning. So to recap, the beginning, the confrontation. Mr. Reyes enraptures his children with parables of honor. Christina, his wife, observes from the comfort of her corner. She then leads Hector to the bedroom. She slights his foolish musings, unwinding its flaws. He decides to unwind hers. When she's had enough, her disgust sees from its seams. All roads lead back to his infidelity. Their lives are savage and shattered, so is their room. Their children know it too. They hear the walls vibrate on the other side. There is no coming back from the other side. Middle, aka the drowning. The older Reyes brother, Joaquin, bathes himself while his mother, Christina, attends to baby Sebastian. The boy recounts his father's tales of honor, reigniting Christina's seething anger. She prods the boy on his father's character. Is he a man of honor or a scoundrel? The boy won't have it. His father is a hero, nothing less. And she wants that hero to have less than nothing. Christina puts her baby underwater. Her boy tries to play hero, but she won't have it. She's done with heroes. Joaquin is too late to save his brother. She rages and rages against his mother, but she will murder another. At long last, her husband will suffer. She flees into the night, shedding her old life. Okay. So I think that that's essentially, the beginning and middle for me. I'm working on now the ending. So I'm going to go ahead and pop up my overview, which I started at the beginning of this. To hear other participants. Are there other participants here? I don't think there is. Sharing is paused. Bring your window to the front. Let me go ahead and pull up what I was doing. All right. Cheating spouse. All right. So I'm pulling back what I had previously written as far as the back matter was concerned. All right. So now, all right. So now I'm at the end. The confession. Wow. That's pretty quick, I think. I wonder if I were to do it on something that I wasn't already familiar with and I had to create almost whole cloth, whether that would be easier for me. Did I delete the back matter? Oh no. I think I did. I think I did delete the back matter. Oh well. You know, it probably wasn't that important. That's interesting. Okay. Well, sometimes we all make a little mistakes, right? In this case, I deleted all the back matter that I had here. But that's all right. We're going to invent it whole cloth. You know, if I recall it correctly, then we'll kind of go from there. I think that's okay. That's a normal thing. So going back, I'm going to go ahead and go back. I've written the beginning. I've written the middle. Now I'm at the end. So I'm just going to match the title to 18, I think. And there we go. I think that's it, right? 24. There you go. It's got to be 24. Don't want to distract too much, but for me, it's important. All right. Regular. So this is also 24. All right. So that will not be bold. It will be regular. All right. So already in my beginning, I already have my middle. Now I'm working on the ending. So let's look at the ending. We'll unbold this. I'm always confused on what that is. I don't know. I see. I think it's smaller. Okay. So all right. So we're at here. We are, I see. I try not to get stuck on the formatting, but for me, it can be distracting. So now, oh, you can't see, I don't think. I don't think you can see my screen. Let me share my screen. All right. So let's pop that. That way everybody can view it if that's something that we're doing. So now I think I really want to center it around, of course, Christina. So here, Christina, and I'll unbolden this. So interesting. Now this is 24. I gotta get the format down pat. All right. All right. So now Christina is on the run to the one place of sanctuary she knows. The river. As she arrives there, I don't know. This is slightly cliche. Okay, so I'm going to write the slightly cliche version and that I plan to go ahead and revise. I actually want to check real quick if in my email whether I had sent a version of it without the with the back matter. I just want to be sure. That way I don't have to invent everything whole cloth for now. Actually, Okay, yeah, I actually do have it. I do have it here. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Okay. No need to invent when you've already created, right? So that's what I've got. Okay. And that helps me. That helps me so that I don't have to waste time if I've already done it, the work pre-hand, hey, that's good. All right, so let's go ahead and paste that. I did find it. It's a good thing when you email yourself. It's very helpful. All right. And there we go. There we go. I think that is good. So let's go ahead and make that comparable. There you go. All right. I think we're good there. So it's a little bit, that's interesting. It's a different format. So I think we agreed on this 1.0. All right. So come on, baby. What's going on here? Formatting. All right. There you go. So those are just animals barking. My brother just got home from doing an errand. All right. So we got it. We got it. Confession. That way we eliminated all that time we would have wasted otherwise. There you go. There you go. Eso. Times New Roman. Let's make sure this all is formatted. Formatting is very important to me. I can't really give you a reason why off the top of my head, but it's important for me to have that structure there. All right, so maybe merge this, right? It's the same thing. See, I was recalling just from yesterday. That's funny. So Christina makes her way towards her one place of sanctuary, the river. God will hear her confession. God will forgive her transgression. There's only one way out of hell. Of hell. Confession. Okay. So Christina makes her way towards her one place of sanctuary, the river. There's one way out of hell. Confession. Christina pleads and begs, prays for God to hear, to forgive her transgression. Yeah, a lot of this was corny. Okay. Christina makes her way toward her one place of sanctuary, the river. Confession. Christina pleads and begs and prays for God to forgive her transgression. Hell. That's kind of Christina. So let's say I don't want to overthink it, but I do want to make this purposeful. So let me kind of just pause and think a little bit. All right. Christina. Christina. Once desperate. Desperate. And resolute. and resolute. Sunk into despair. She makes body of water. She makes a one-way track towards a body of water. Pray. She makes her one-way track towards a body of water. She will baptize. She waits. God. Please accept my confession. God. She was baptized. Has sunk into utter despair. She makes her one-way track towards a body of water. Okay, so let's see. Christina, once desperate and resolute, has sunk into utter despair. She makes her one-way trek towards a body of water. She wades through the water, praying harder and harder. God, forgive my transgression. Please accept my confession. Her pleas fall unto deaf ears. Heaven won't have her. Hell One choice remains. One choice remains. Sink and die. Drown. Sink and drown in the water. So it's a very, for me at least, it's a very, very abbreviated ending. I do want to write more. I feel though that the story ends with this choice, and everything beyond that, it comes out, it's not really her choice anymore, right? It's her ending. So, up until now, this is the kind of story that is a very humanistic story devoid of any supernatural elements, and really isn't suggested at all within the story. And so, you know, it's interesting. Up until now, I really hadn't considered adding any supernatural elements, because again, this is for me a very humanistic story. I got 7 minutes on the clock before I kind of hit the bricks. But I think that I do have to kind of make a choice now. Robert, is this story supernatural? Is this story, more just a human drama? I mean, it can be both, obviously, but for me, the core has always been this woman driven to this sort of terrible choice, right? And she makes that choice, and the movie ends right, and that's dark to me. For me, though, I do feel that I do want to get a kick out of the ending, right? Because the ending is that she is resurrected as the spirit that wanders the earth. So what is, how do you translate that? I've always had this vision. I haven't always had it, right? But I've thought about it. You know, because this is a good ending, I think, as it is now, that she just chooses to die. But it isn't that traditional La Llorona story. And for me, I don't think that story has been depicted in a satisfying way for me. And I think the choice right now is like, hey, let's go in the way of the supernatural here. Let's go ahead and follow through on that promise. I think it should be. So I guess I need to really make it clear that, hey, this is what this is going to be. So let's see. I got to write an ending. It could end here. I feel like it does almost end there, and everything else is just an epilogue. But I think there should be a supernatural consequence. I might pull back and say, hey, you know what? Let me cut the supernatural part out. You know, I think that might be a choice that I do. I'm not really sure. That's something I would have to really marinate on, because at the end it's kind of like there's a term, and I know I'm distracting myself a little bit. I'll probably go all the way until 9:55. I'll extend by 5 more minutes. Deus ex dia diabolus, I think that's what it's called. All right, this story would be over. Diabolus ex machina, which is introduction of an unexpected new event, character, ability, or object to ensure things suddenly get much worse for our protagonist. Yeah, so that's essentially what this is. I think it's interesting. It's a trope. I'll share that later. I need to get back to writing it. Okay. I got very abbreviated time. All right, all right. So looking over here, right? All right. Her pleas fall onto deaf ears. Heaven won't have her. Hell doesn't want her. What is this, fucking Ghost Rider? I'm gonna delete that. That does sound rather pretentious. Sink. One choice remains: sink and drown in the water. She takes one final gasp of air. And surrender. She died. She takes one final gasp of air and surrenders. She takes one final gasp of air and what? And what? And suffers. She comes. Her final moments. Her final moments. Skin white. Her skin is white and translucent. Her skin is white. Her skin pale. I'm gonna revise this. I'm not 1,000% hot on the ending here. Obviously, I'm running out of time. But for me, this is okay for right now. I'll be revisiting this later. I still have an hour and a half for today. If I'm pulling in 2 hour days, I think this is working for now. I will go ahead and I got 4 minutes on the clock before I got to pivot to something else. But it's interesting. It's interesting for me that that essentially this is where it's at. All right. So she takes one final gasp of air and suffers. Her final moments are seen as a prism of light envelops her from the top of the water. There's a lot of the water that I'm not a big fan of. I'd have to revise that. Christina is pulled from the river, her skin pale, her eyes red. God has damned her to walk the earth. What does she first? What does she search for? I don't know. So I got to revise the ending. I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with it, but I can't be too hard on myself if I just came up with all this in less than 30 minutes. That's okay. I've got to forgive myself and move forward from here. It's fine. But that's the end of today's live stream. We were writing for 30 minutes this morning. I still got 1.5 hours to do sometime during the day. I'll be doing another live write. Kind of have a good idea of where to go from now and complete it. I got to do it. I still got to finish that. Otherwise, I got to pivot over. But it's been a real big blast for me to kind of just say, hey, you know what? It's not perfect, but it is done. And you got to go ahead and revise that, later today. But you're done. That's not too bad, The beautiful thing is that once it's spilt on once the ink is spilt on the page, you can always transform it. You can always revise it. So that is a good thing. I'm going to go ahead and save this. I'm going to, duplicate. Okay. I'm going to stop share. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to file, save. And we're going to rename this one pager 80. And now we're the fourth today. So that's not too bad. 8420. All right. So I'm going to save this. I will send it over to my mentor, a writing mentor. I will revert changes. And I think that is it for today. So stay strong, keep writing. I'll probably be writing hopefully around 6 or 7. I'm not too sure, but I'll make an announcement if you want to join me again. If you happen to have the time, I might be doing it for an hour or 1.5 hours. Haven't determined that, but always a blast. So keep on writing. Salud.